Continuing on the recording, we're going to start here with the statement that it was sent to General Miley and President Donald Trump, and they have done anything, nothing about it, nothing. Information provided might be further disclosed to federal, state, and local foreign government, law enforcement agencies, prosecutors, courts, Child Protective Service, victims, witnesses of the Department of Veterans Affairs, and the Office of the Personnel Management information provided by the use of the determinations regarding judicial or non-judicial punishment, other administrative discipline, actions, security clearances, recruitment, retention, replacement, and personal actions. Disclosure. Disclosure. We're going to start with the disclosure here. And we send you these 5 cases in which we won. 5 cases. Then the case on federal is 6, and your case is number 7. Army Regulation 84010 makes clear that those flying military service flags may fly the national colors. Chapter 7 restriction on authorized use of flags, guidance, streamers. It goes to say that the national colors fly military courtrooms. Chapter 2-3 sizes and occasions for display. I wish to inform the presiding judge of the Central Violation Bureau Board, United States Court, that the attorneys at law under the presiding judge supervision are engaged in simulated legal process to extort private wealth for their personal gain and for their peaceful inhabitants and on the land in violation of both the Labor Code, martial law, and the Constitution of the United States in military courtrooms flying the national color, that the presiding judge has a duty to enforce his superintending control over. What part you didn't understand, corrupt judge? You wrote it, and we have it. You said we asserted that they are doing what they're doing. What did you do? Add yourself to that fraud? We charge you with racketeering, and it's on the record. Take judicial notice. California Government Code Section 100B states that the style of process shall be the people of the state of California, and all prosecutions shall be conducted in the name and by a statement of J. Jesús-Arriaga taken at New Mexico in February 3rd of 2020. And then we inform you about the right of liberty and the kidnapping of the Honorable for 102 hours without the right to bond, and lockdown and reckless disregard to the Honorable's medical condition. 2 spinal cord injuries at the neurological level, diabetes, hypertension, fibromyalgia, sleep apnea, acid reflux, arthritis, causing injury while being placed on a Belen police car, and the paramedics were dispatched. What do you do, General? Throw it on the back of your car, put it on the trunk. You know, it's just like, oh, I have to go over to go and disperse some crowds that are in display of their protective rights as one of the people, but I have to go displace them because my boss, another thief, Donald J. Trump, is coming over to take his picture with the Bible on his hand. Do you believe in God? Do you have kids? Have they been baptized? Were you married by the church, Judge? General Miley? Donald Trump? When the paramedics got to the scene, to inspect the injury that has been the injury while being placed on the police car, the paramedics were dispatched by the police station. Hypertension was 180 over 117. General Miley, if your mom was detained and thrown into a police car, and this she suffered all these illnesses, and she had a hypertension of 180 or 170, you'll be throwing this her document into some drawer back there or some trunk, or throwing it over there with you keep all your documents that you have no interest, because that's where this document is. You have done nothing about it. If your mother had involuntary tremors and there was evidence of the injury and the pain that she was suffering, I gave you the names of the officers of the courts, General Miley. In the attachment 1, the trespassers pursuant each case number listed and their agencies, lawyers, judges, and staff are simulating legal process and contempt of the dignity of the Supreme Court, and you did nothing about it? They are using instrumentalities of interstate commerce and the Federal Postal Service for frauds and swindles, stole our identity, violated our civil liberties, and violated our protected rights, which are protected by the Constitution of the United States, which you swore to uphold. What a pity. What a toy. What a little general made out of garbage. Your uniform is worthless. Your medals are worthless. You are an impostor. You are doing nothing. You're showing the world what you're doing. You're taking money. You're in violation of Title 18, Section 641. I wouldn't want to be perceived as a thief, that I'm getting paid to do something and then I have a federal judge on national TV showing the world that you are doing nothing about it. It says here, the Constitution of the United States. Is that something that you look at with disrespect? We are including an exhibit of this sworn statement and the summons of the complaints of the aforementioned case numbers. Upon can be found the following concealments, errors, omissions. The wrongdoers, trespassers, rapists, correspondents listed on attachment 1 are concealing the address of the alleged plaintiff. Credit Acceptance Corporation is permanently substituted on its own instrumentalities. Mandates that the court seal be the court seal document, and there is no evidence of a court seal being used. Where is the court seal? No page is attached to that. Actual allegations on the claim for the relief must be attached as stated on the form. Clerks, the copy of the stamp has not been signed by the court signature of the plaintiff's attorney. Has not been signed. Trespassers, wrongdoers, rapers, kidnappers, correspondents given listed names and attachments once of each case of using. They are not using their full legal name as attorneys at law licensed to practice law in the New Mexico or New Mexico territory. Where do they get their jurisdiction to come and practice on New Mexico territory outside the corporate jurisdiction? You know it. If not, we have another general here that's supposed to be studying the law and making sure that everybody's enforcing the law. Well, this general must be someplace in Hawaii, fanning his face with a banana leaf and drinking another tequila because he's not doing anything about it. We don't believe that they possess a certificate of registration with the New Mexico Supreme Court. Did you look into it? Or you finally realize, oh, well, nobody does, so why check? This is how you were trained to work on the Army, sir? Who trained you, by the way? Who are you successor of? Because they must have told you the ropes, right? This is what you do. That Wikipedia page that you have is nothing but felony perjury of oath. As good as they might be, peace officers are committing perjury. Accessories in human trafficking is making an executive office on chief of police accomplices of this conspiracy by not auditing your subordinates' performance. Fix it now. We are on fear for our lives. And you have a fiduciary duty to protect the people. So if your mother is being subject to this kind of torture, you do not send the army. You say, oh, well, I didn't send it for this judge. I'm not going to send it for my mom either. Or you're going to cite for your mother if you have a mother or a father. Making the executive officers and chief police accomplices of this conspiracy for not auditing your subordinates' performance. Fix it now. We are on fear for our lives and loss of our property. You are taking the people's property without any respect, without any proof, without any contract. All foreclosures are this is how you make money? Foreclosure. What about the foreclosures that were up 8,000% in 2005? This is when I started my investigation. Where were you? The Supreme Court has jurisdiction under Title 18H U.S. Section Code Section 401, discrimination against disability. We requested the language. It was never provided. Send them whatever. Just do whatever we do all the time with these people. You get elected, now you beat them with a stick over the head and you take their property, put them on the street. I represent the foundation for the homeless. Especially those victims of foreclosure. And we're going to do something about it. We're coming to the United Nations. If you send anybody to put a bullet into my forehead, well, believe it, it'll be obvious. I'm telling you now, it'll be very obvious. I don't expect any bullet on my forehead from anybody except from you and your army and your president and your corrupt system. But there is 15 of us worldwide. There is 14 that you're going to have to look for, and they're coming your way. They're going to take over. That's in violation of the 1964 Disability Act. A letter of rogatory and a compulsory judicial notice, a writ of error, were directed to one Cindy M. Mercer. And she has scheduled motion for summary judgment. Oh yeah, I'm still gonna give you summary judgment. I got all these documents, but I'll still give you summary judgment. Thief, bitch, hooker. Oh, but I'm not referring to you. You're not all that. You are Cindy M. Mercer. I didn't say your name before I say all these names, did I? And if it came over, you say, well, I'm not everything that you just say, and I still continue, where does that place you? Dishonorable. The letter of rogatory should be enough in any part of the world. What about the compulsory judicial notice mandatory judicial notice, to take judicial notice of the law. Summary judgment against one Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa. I challenge the jurisdiction with a 60-page book and is missing. "60-page book and is missing. The opposed counsel never provided proper response or jurisdiction." And you're still going to give him a hearing? Well, let the world see that, okay? Because now we're going to use that exact practice to dismiss every single case that you have done. In every single case that they are doing out there. In every single case. And we're going to say this. We're going to do it by the peaceful way, by the legal way. We're going to do it on front. We are doing it now on the front, in front of the United Nations. And see what the United Nations have to say about this. Oh, this is fine. We do it like this all the time. Unless the United Nations also get to do it or get part of this. We're going to get to it. Kidnapping is not is nothing to be looked at lightly, Mr. Miley. The kidnapping for the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Abonce on December 2019 to December 17 of 2019. What part you didn't read of that, Senor? Did your father teach you how to read, or did he know how to read? Did your mother knew how to read? Does she knows how to read? Do your kids read? Maybe they can read it for you. They allowed Michael J. Doyle to practice as plaintiff and defendant's counsel of record. Check this out. Can you do that? Can you have one lawyer represent both of them? Well, this is what happened. And we wrote a letter to this one judge of yours, this coronel you trained. And we told him, no, you can't do that. This guy here is not my lawyer. I'm a special master in common law and a federal judge. And he didn't know what to do. Michael J. Doyle, you're going to prison for the rest of your life. Michael J. Doyle, you're a thief and an accomplice. And you're going to run? If you run, I'll give you the electric chair. But listen, I will think of it for a while. I will think of it. So you can sit down and realize. Because your time is coming. Hey, I'm doing another video on you, and I'm going to present all these papers that I gave you. Since when a pseudo judge is going to disallow for the plaintiff's discovery, please refer to the People's Exhibit, denied motion. This is a famous document that we had here. We never knew that you could do that, but you did it. We figure, oh well, now we have forensic evidence. You deny the motion for discovery. I'm supposed to present the discovery. I'm the plaintiff. I have the right. How much money they gave you? And how can you change a $3,800 judgment to a judgment of $600? Who did you give the rest of that money to? Your wife, so she could go shopping, or she could go buy groceries for your kids? Did you buy new pair of shoes for your kids, Judge? It's a mail fraud on violation of Title 18 U.S.C. Section 1341 and 1342. Mail fraud, identity theft with the intention to extort, breach of the Federal Communication System, the Federal Postal Service, by which the Postmaster General has jurisdiction to prosecute. Where are you, Postmaster? You were given these documents. Case number 1. D Delta 1314 Charlie Bravo 201 800 filed on May 4, 2018. Illegal, unlawful, fraudulent, fabricated defendant's cross appeal. In this fraud, Carl W. Ravestick. Since when a defendant, a losing party, can file a cross appeal? This is what you show the world? This is what you practice? Oh yeah, we'll let you file a cross appeal. There is no such thing. Why, if he lost, why would he have to file a cross appeal? Case number Delta 134 CB 201901 401, filed on November 19, 2019, violation of Title 18 U.S.C. Section 1341, 1342, identity theft with the intention to extort the real human being. Didn't you read it, Miley? You're going to jail for life. Five. Case number 1314 Delta 1314 Charlie Bravo 201 900 392. Filing date March 28, 2019. Identity theft of the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa with intention to extort fictitious plaintiff pursuant to the record. The Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa filed U.S. Postal Service Certified Mail Return Receipt Request Article 70183090 000028324814, received by Philip Romero, the clerk of the court, the 13th Judicial District Court in Valencia County, New Mexico. Date of delivery, July 12, 2019, and signed by Philip Romero. 156-page book of the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa's offer to prove was denied to enter into the record. The 56 pages was served by the Secretary of State. The Honorable Melissa Sanchez, Notary Public, in good standing commission of the Secretary of State. Certificate of Authority, page 1. The Secretary of State, presentment of the Superior Court notice of the clerk file on demand under Title 28, Section 1361, via United States Postal Service Certified Correspondence. Article 7018 3090 000028324814. As of January 18, 2020, the media registry shows no filed documents on July 12, 2019. Clear. Philip Romero, you're going to prison for the rest of your life. You were told not to kidnap this book. You were told to file on demand under Title 28, Section 1361. You showed the world that you took those orders and you didn't do it. Your failure to comply has earned you a ticket to Guantanamo, to be in prison for the rest of your life without the possibility of parole, along with all your gang over here. And if you run, Interpol is standing by. And when you get caught, the sentence is no longer going to be life imprisonment. So if you value your life, turn yourself in. Or turn your sentence into the death sentence, into the death penalty. But we all yet have to think how we want to do away with it. Where is that book? That earned you a ticket under violation of U.S. Code 2071, and you were told about it on the record. And what do you say? Go file someplace else? This is what you told for the Honorable Jesús-Arriaga once. Go file someplace else? And what did he say? Oh, I'll file on federal against you for criminal trespassing? So you were warned. Did you still file, or did you still put it on the garbage like you stated? It's going into the garbage. You are garbage. You are going to where you belong. With all you garbage clown. All your garbage group. As of January 8, 2020, the media registry shows no file documents on 12/2/2019, forensic evidence of reckless disregard for due process in violation of 18 Section 241 and 242, and violation of Title 18, Section 1512 and 641 of U.S. Code 2071, concealment and violation, California Penal Code 135. Interception of mail fraud in violation of Title 18 U.S. Code Section 1341 and 1341, in which the Postmaster General has jurisdiction to prosecute. Where are you, Mr. Postmaster? Helping the whole shebang to continue with the extortion? It's over. It's over. On October 2nd of 2019, enter certificate to the Secretary of the Record, to the state of the record, and certificate as to the state of the record and non-appearance enter fraudulently, felony, perjury, contradictory to the 56-page book that the Secretary of State of New Mexico presented for filing on July 12, 2019. And you also stated under oath that for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa did not form part of any of the military welfare service or any militant agency in the world, which is false. You proceeded against in violation of the Geneva Conventions. On August 13, 2019, for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa, Federal Postal Judge sui juris and one of the people filed performance contract via U.S. Postal Service Certified Mail Article 7018300025890381, received by one Philip Romero, pursuant to return receipt signature on August 13, 2019, with opportunity to withdraw or accept to pay a fine of $50,000 per day as of January 8 of 2020. No objection has been filed by any of the trespassers, wrongdoers, ratepayers, correspondents, given names listed attachment 1, and as of enter effective date August 17, January 6, 2020, for the agreed fine ascend to $7,100,000. And will continue to accrue at $50,000 per day, additional per day, until all matters are resolved in this Superior Court of Record. The Superior Court of Record under a maritime contract register number posted by the Clerk of the Superior Court of Record filing for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa, denied to have any affidavit of non-military status or affidavit of military status on October 2, 2019. The 56-page book missing contained one page of two book page 1 the imposed penalty to Philip Romero for the failure to perform under the contract, official repression, willful misconduct with the intention to harm, kidnapping, and the book with the fee of $50,000 in lawful money minted by the Treasury of the United States Department. The record indicates that Philip Romero was delivered the book. Signature forensic evidence indicates the fact. The media register indicates forensic evidence to Philip Romero, failure to perform under the contract, treason, conspiracy, violation of 18 U.S.C. Section Code 241 and 242, a violation of Title 18 Section U.S. Section Code 1512, and direct contempt of the Superior Court of Record. Felony perjury of oath. Felony perjury of oath regarding the certificate as to the state of record. Treason, creating jurisdiction over the people. Creating treason equals conspiracy and violation of protected rights under color of law that resulted on bodily damage. The title of 18 U.S.C. 242 and 241, reckless disregard for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga as right to evidence on exercise the protective right to protect or protective rights and evidence presentation of fraud, misnomer, inclusion, identity theft, fictitious plaintiff, mail fraud, and breach of the Federal Communication System and the Federal Postal Service to extort in violation of Title U.S.C. Section 1341 and 1342, on which the Postmaster General has jurisdiction to prosecute the mail fraud and interception in mail in violation of the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution and the violation of Article 1, Section 13 of the Constitution of Constitution of California and the 14th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. Did you get that? Did you read it, Mr. Miley? Or it was too much for your little brain? Or you were too busy guarding the orange guy who is having an extramarital relation with a porn star while his wife is pregnant? Did you assist that? Are you part of the state? You're the Estado Mayor. You Guardia Presidencial, don't you? You make sure that this clown here gets protected while he goes and interviews himself with a porn star while his wife is pregnant. You were on duty, don't you? And this document is sitting where? General Miley, you are a disgrace. You are a failure. It's on the record. You are doing this intentionally with the intention to harm. You are having reckless disregard for the Geneva 4 conventions and the Protocol 1. You are not defending those who are defending your family while you are jumping hoops for these criminals. Carl W. Ravestick, General Counsel for the 13th Judicial District Court of New Mexico in Valencia County. You knew, or you should have known, the People's Exhibit FUK, Carl W. Ravestick's self-debriefing, wrote, all criminal activity that could be unlawful, that could not be lawful or legal. Ladies and gentlemen, the forensic evidence indicates that Carl W. Ravestick's collusion to activate violation of Title 28, Charlie Hotel 85-1359, collusion. Violation of Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 11, Subchapter B, frivolous filings. Violation of Title 42, U.S. Code Section 1986, neglect. Violation of Title 42, 1985, 2, obstruction of justice. Violation of Title 42, 1985, Paragraph 3, deprivation of rights. Violation of AUSC 14, equal protection due process. Violation of 18 U.S.C. constructive treason. Violation of Title 18 U.S. Code Section 241, conspiracy under color of law. Violation of Title 42, 1983, Note 349, conspiracy. Violation of Title 4201, 1983, Charlie Hotel 21, personal injury. Violation of Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12B5, insufficient service. Violation of Title 28, Charlie Hotel 85, Section 1359, collusion. Violation of willful criminal trespassing by Carl W. Ravestick. Violation of AUSC 5 due process. Violation of U.S. Code Section 2071, concealment of forensic evidence, filed on November 21st, 2019, or kidnapped by Carl W. Ravestick. You received the judgment. You received the bench warrant, mister. And you wrote a letter. You said you're not going to do it. Yeah, you're on the record. You just put yourself behind bars with that document, and we knew it. In the impeachment, you didn't answer. You didn't provide any rebuttal. So you're guilty of everything in there. And I furnished that to you as an affidavit of truth because I knew as an affidavit of truth you could not rebut it. It still remains as truth. Violation of Rule 601, Federal Rules of Evidence. Violation of Rule 602, Federal Rules of Evidence. Violation of Title 28, U.S. Code Section 1361. You were told to file under this title. You didn't. On August 13, 2019, for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa, file book page 57 through 61 via United States Federal Postal Service throughout the Secretary of State and the Secretary of State of New Mexico by the Honorable Michelle Vasquez, 1810 Main Street, Los Lunas, New Mexico, 87031, certified mail article 7018 3090 0000 2589 0381. The record was mutilated and partially returned by the court clerk on reckless disregard by the Superior Court notice to file on demand under Title 28, Section 1361, and for the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa, second requirement of subrogation was ignored on reckless disregard of the fact of being requested throughout the Secretary of State of New Mexico through appointed special master in common law for the Honorable J. Jesús-Arriaga Ponce on November 7, 2019, the Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa, throughout the authority of the Commission of the Secretary of State of New Mexico, the Honorable Michelle Vasquez, Certificate of Authority, Notarial Presentment, and a Certificate of Mailing Affidavit of Notary Presentment, herein attached for the forensic evidence, the People's Exhibit Foxtrot Uniform 2 with list of appraisement to all extent of the liability. As indicated on the forensic evidence, 2 pages of the People's Exhibit 7-27 Foxtrot Uniform, and the compulsory judicial notice, 2 pages to Cindy M. Mercer, and the triple religious objection. Second read of error, quae coram nobis, issued to all parties via United States Postal Service, certified mail return receipt request, article number and the name of all, and names as follow. Proof of certified mail on this notice with the violation of deployment by their actions, criminal actions, page 1, 2, and 2 of 2, book page 72 and 73 of the compulsory judicial notice. The Honorable Adelina Arriaga Pedrosa's objection was sustained by Cindy M. Mercer. No forensic evidence to the contrary exists. The forensic evidence of the record expressed the compulsory notice, judicial notice to Cindy M. Mercer. The forensic evidence of failure to challenge the finding of the facts on the conclusion of equitable law is clear evidence of incompetence, tacit agreement, and silence acquiescence to the truth contained on said documents has resulted on the district court of the district attorney abandoning the claim in this matter and resulted on a stop against the court of the district attorney and all trespassers, wrongdoers, rapers, correspondence, names listed on attachment 1 of each cause numbers Carl W. Rastick, move or allow to proceed, progress as real claims of the court what does not exist. Do corporations exist, Mr. Carl W. Rastick? That's all you practice, corporate law. The forensic evidence in the record clearly indicates that 5 cases are frivolous filings, neglect, obstruction of justice, deprivation of rights under color of law, denial of equal protection due process, perjury of oath, felony perjury of oath, constructive treasons, conspiracy of color of law, under color of law, conspiracy personal injury, bodily injury, liability, insufficient service, identity theft, indication of a fictitious entity to extort, conclusion, criminal trespasser, concealment of forensic evidence, violation of the federal rules of evidence 601 and 602, and the failure to perform under the contract. Carl W. Rastick, you are hereby sentenced to life in prison. And if you run, we have the Interpol standing by. They have your picture. You will be commuting your life sentence into the electric chair or death by electrocution. violation of federal rules, law of evidence 601, 602, and the failure to perform under your contract. Carl W. Rafstick, these 5 cases, the cases Carl W. Rafstick is allowed to move forward in this court